Hi everyone, this is Sarah Joanne and this is tip 5 of 12 days of my amazing angel tarot tips. So I'm just going to share this into a group because I want it to go into my private group, my private space. And then we'll get started on the tip. So if you've been joining in and you're part of my Sarah Joanne's Angel Tarot guidance group, you'll know that in there we've been posting a daily card today, and we posted one yesterday, and we're all starting to tap into using this Angel Tarot deck and tapping into our intuition to read the cards for yourself and for your friends. So just bear with me, I'll just share this now and I'll be with you. And each tip and each day that I'm sharing these tips, they're actually building on each other, and the more you interact, the more you take part, the more you'll start to see things in the cards and really start to have a relationship with them. And I really believe reading cards is about having a relationship with them and understanding them, so you can then read for yourself clearly and also for other people. So today's tip is about the structure of the cards, and the next few days of tips is going to be all about the structure of the cards. So I use the Angel Tarot deck, and I use the Power Angel Tarot deck, and it's by Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine. Sometimes it's just seen by Radleigh Valentine, and I use this particular deck, and it follows the tarot structure. And within the tarot cards, it has 78 cards, and if you were to buy any other pack of tarot cards, they would all have 78 cards and they would all have this same structure. And the tarot goes a lot deeper in readings and gives a lot, I find personally, rather than oracle cards, I find it goes into a much deeper meaning of messages and gives much more detailed and insight into a situation. So I prefer using tarot decks for that reason. And as part of the structure of Angel Tarot, or any tarot deck for that matter, there is always 78 cards, like I said, and there's always 22 major cards. And the 22 major cards, and in fact I'm missing one, so I need to find it. It's there. The 22 major cards are all about major things in our life. So when a major card comes out in a reading, it basically means that this is a major situation, and it can mean major things. So it can mean things like house moves, it can mean like major career changes, it can mean the birth of a child. Anything that's major, that's in our life, basically, is denoted by a major card. And major cards often denote as well, I'm trying to find my zero, I don't know where it is. I thought I got them all sorted and I haven't. So, well, I'll just go with it anyway. The zero is here somewhere. But anyway, I'll explain that in a minute. But major cards, yeah, denote major things in our life. So major things that can happen, like births, divorce, house moving, major job career changes, success, career success. Major things in our life are denoted by major cards. And major cards often in a reading are things that are often very, very likely to happen. It's almost like it's fate, like it's meant to be. And major cards in the deck also share to us, take notes. So if a major card comes out in a reading for you, let's say you're starting to read for your friends and everything else, if a major card comes out, it's important, and it's important to take note. And within the major cards is 22 cards, and they number from 0 to 21. I've got the 1 here because I can't find my 0 at the minute, which is in this deck somewhere. And then they go to 21, which is the world. But actually, because there's a 0 card, there is 22 altogether. The 0 is the Fool. So what I'm going to do now, because obviously you've got the same structure across different decks, you may have a cat deck or you may have a different Angel Tarot deck. I'm going to do a little bit of a card focused on a couple of the major cards to help you. And then if you get this major card, you can understand the message of it. And I'm also going to do this so you can look at the cards and also start seeing things yourself within them and start to tap into them and understand them. So I'm going to pick well-known cards that people may know, particularly from the traditional tarot, because I think then they're good cards to pick. I'll pick that one as well, actually. And I'll pick the World. Okay. So we'll have a quick look at these. So the number 12 perspective card in this Angel Tarot deck, and like I say, it's the Power Archangel Tarot deck that I'm using. And for those of you that you've got this deck, you can look at this at the same time. This is number 12, and it's called Perspective in this case. But in the traditional tarot cards, it's called the Hanged Man. And in the traditional tarot card, they often appear, they often appear quite dark, the cards. And you look at a picture of a hangman, and you think, oh, that looks horrible. He's upside down and he's hanging. Doesn't look so nice. And a lot with the Angel Tarot decks, you've got a lot more light and positivity in them. Hence why I tend to like using them. And this is the 12 number perspective, which is the Hanged Man card. And if you look, you can see a man, and he is hung upside down. He's got his angel wings there, and he's reaching forward for something, and there's a city below him. And there's lots of bright lights and lots of things to look at within the city. But he is sort of hung there and stuck there, and he's not really moving. He's wanting to reach out for something, but he's not quite getting there. And you can see that he's wanting to reach out for this flag here, but it's not quite touching. And the thing about the cards is the message and the meaning of the cards is always in the images. And it's taking time to look at the images and actually get to, do your own interpretation, understand the basic meaning of the card to help you really start connecting with them. And the Hanged Man literally means, for me, and the basic meaning of the card as well, for Hanged Man or perspective card, is, to basically literally stop hanging around. It's like you're wanting something and you're wanting something to come to you. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of you watching this, you actually need this message to hear as well. It'll be no coincidence that I've picked these cards. So for some of you, you're wanting something, you're wanting more to life, but you're not actually doing anything to go out and get it. You're just sort of reaching out, wanting it to come to you, but you're not actually taking any steps towards getting it yourself. So for people who come to me and have a reading, I often say, what you want? You're wanting to change in your life, but you're not actually taking any steps to change it. You're just hanging around, just hoping it's going to come to you. But how's it going to come to you if you don't step out and reach out to actually take some steps to get it? The other message of this card is also, and you've got to go with the feeling on this, he's hung round and he's not going anywhere. He's just, the world is still turning, the world and the city below him is still moving, there's still lots of things happening there, but he's just stuck in this place. The other meaning of this card is, it's time to just pause and take stock. So be still like the Hanged Man, let life flow around you, let the world keep turning. Obviously we can't stop the world turning anyway. Let the world keep turning, just stay still where you are and just pause and take some time to really think about this and whether it's the right thing for you. So there's a dual message in it, and often I just have to tap into my feelings and think, right, is it this message or is it the other message for what I need to give to the people when I'm reading. And for you, you would have to think, right, well, I'm really wanting something. Is it time for me to say stop and pause? Or is it actually, I need to go out and do something and take some steps towards getting it? And the Hanged Man is upside down and he's sort of, just still and not moving. And the message, either way, is just, you either need to move to create some action, or you need to actually stop and just be still and let things unfold. So that's my take on the card and the Hanged Man card, the perspective card. And Archangel Chamuel is in this card. And Archangel Chamuel is a wonderful angel who helps us find things are lost and helps us find things that we are looking for. So it's a wonderful angel to be with us with this card, because if we are wanting to change and wanting things to change in our life, he's there with us, supporting us, saying, you know, I will help you find your right path. I will help you step out and find what you're looking for within life. So I think it's lovely that he's also written at the top of this card and is part of this card. So that's perspective. So that's card focus on perspective. And then I'm going to do a quick focus as well now on the peace card. And the peace card within the Archangel Tarot deck that I use, the Power Angels Archangel Tarot deck, this card is actually the Death card. And if you think about the famous Death card and you think about tarot, it gets a bad rap, this card. So this is why I want to talk about this here now. If you watch any horror movie, and I personally don't watch horror movies, I don't think it's good to sort of get involved in that space, but if you watch a horror movie and you watch any thriller or anything like that, and they have tarot cards in there, often they will show the Death card, and it's a skeleton, and it's often riding on a horse, and it's meant to mean death. And actually, it doesn't mean death at all. But because of TV, because of media, because of the bad rap it gets given, everybody thinks it means death. So anybody who's read for traditional tarot, if they don't know anything about it and they get the Death card, they just think it means death. And actually it doesn't. It actually means changes, and it means major changes where something's being let go of and there's something new coming in. So in this Angel Tarot deck, it's called Peace, which I think is just such a much nicer word than death. And this denotes major changes. So this card denotes major changes, as in things you really need to let go of and new things that are coming in. So for this can mean a divorcing of a situation. So it can mean a physical divorce. It can mean a divorcing from a job, letting go of a job and starting a new one. It can mean a moving of a house or a moving of a home. And basically it's major upheaval, major changes in our life. But of course, anything that's major changes, like divorce or changing of a job or an upheaval in some way, often brings a better situation. And this is what this card is saying. It's really saying, if you look, you know, he's got his hands open and you've got all this light in front. And this is denoting a much more enriching, a much more positive future. And there's a lot of darkness behind. And the darkness is, you know, relating to the upheaval. So it may be that, you know, you're wanting to move house, and obviously house moving is a very hard time and something that's quite difficult to do. And the darkness behind him is sort of denoting that and saying, you know, it will be quite tough, but once you get to it, you'll have the light in front of you. And it's really pointing out, this card, that, you know, throughout life, and when you look at the major cards, and we go into this much more in my Power Angels Tarot course, it starts with the Fool, and he goes on a journey and he ends up with the World in his hands through the major arcana cards. But in the experience of the peace card, he lets go of his old self. He lets go of his whole old ways. And he almost, you know, goes through a rebirthing phase within himself. And he lets go of all his old ways, of his selfishness, and the ways he's been working and the ways he's been conducting himself. And he rebirths into a much brighter, nicer person. So this card mainly donates things that cause major changes in our life, which are for better, which are for positive, which are for future, but are not always easy. And if life was easy, it would be very boring. Often, many of us are a little bit deluded because we often think, oh, if it were just this or if it was just that, I'd just be, you know, everything would be so much happier. Hi, Steph, thanks for joining me. And you often think that if we have something, it'll make everything so much better. But actually, when we look at the trials and tribulations in our life, and if we look at our hard times in our past, they've made us the person who we are. And, you know, the peace card or the death card in the tarot denotes that. So it denotes, you know, a bit of a troubling time, but a time that's going to lead to a much better time. So, like I say, like major upheavals, house moves, divorces, those sort of things. So, and it's bringing ultimately peace to you. And this has got Archangel Azrael with it. And Archangel Azrael is always there in times of major changes in our life and times of changes of moving forward. So he's here supporting that within the cards as well. So that's a little bit of a card focus for you. If you're watching this and it's the first time you've watched it, I'm doing 12 days of these tips to help you connect with the Angel Tarot deck, and I will put the link above, so register, because then you're not scrolling for each tip and looking back for it. If you register for it, you'll get it in your inbox and it'll be there and it'll be easy. And if you're a member of Sarah Joanne's Angel Tarot Guidance group, if you're not a member, join that group, because within that group we're posting daily cards ourselves, and we're really getting in touch with our intuition and get in touch with the cards, so you can start to learn a bit more in depth about the cards yourself, and yeah, really just start tapping in and having a relationship with them. And I believe that reading cards, and what I've done myself personally, is really built up a relationship with my cards, so I can now read them for other people, and this is what I'm trying to share with you all. So yeah, and Steph's put, definitely always be grateful for the challenging times that help us to grow. Exactly. And you know, some cards in the tarot, in the Angel Tarot, we can see as challenges, and there is a pursuit that is challenges. And I actually love those cards because they are causing us growth. They're causing us, you know, the challenges that are coming in are helping us grow and helping us move along in life. And we'll go on to more of the suits and the aces and the different types within the cards in the next few days. So we'll be looking at the structure over the next few days. So tip 6 tomorrow, I'll be looking at the aces and what the aces are about and talking about the structure of the aces within the cards. So that's the major arcana. It goes from 0 to 22. We focused on the Hanged Man, the Perspective card, and we focused on the Death card, which is the Peace card, which doesn't mean death at all. And tomorrow I'll be looking at the aces with you. If you're liking these tips, please do join in. Please do join in with Sarah Joanne's Tarot Guidance group. Please let your friends know. If you've got this deck, please share a daily card yourself as well. And the more people that interact, the more that we all support each other and comment, the more we'll really tap into our intuition. Our intuition will grow as a group as well. So thank you for watching me. Say hi if you're watching the replay as well. And don't forget to register if you're not registered on the email. Thank you. Love and angel blessings to you all. And I'll be back tomorrow. And actually, let me just think about what I've got on tomorrow and what time I will be on tomorrow. I will be on tomorrow evening, probably about 7 o'clock tomorrow night with tip 6. So I will see you then. Thank you very much. Bye.